Awesome. So today I'm here with Dr. Patrick Liew. I have a lot of deep respect for Dr. Patrick. He has achieved a lot throughout his career in business, and if let's say you just Google Dr. Patrick Liew on Google, you can see all the accomplishments he has made. For example, listing 3 companies in 3 different stock exchanges, right? Public listed companies. Some companies are worth billions of dollars. He co-founded the largest seminar organization, the largest seminar events organizer in the world, Success Resources, right? So they bring in the top speakers like Richard Branson, J.T. Fox, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, all these top speakers to come and educate the masses, right? Which they duplicated this model throughout the world, and right now it's the largest organization. And he also did like real estate, And on top of that, he has a lot of charity organizations that he adds value to, right? And he donates to, and he's kind of like a social worker as well as an entrepreneur, right?
Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenic. Yeah. So today, with Dr. Patrick Liew, I'm gonna ask him a lot of very advanced business questions. Okay, I'm gonna take all of you as advanced entrepreneurs or advanced business people, so that we can fully learn as much as we can from Dr. Patrick, right? And okay, so Dr. Patrick, maybe you can start off by sharing like how you managed to list 3 companies in different.
Okay, that's a very good question. Maybe we should start from the beginning. Why do I want to be in business? Because if you don't know the why, as I always say, you will never find out the how.
Correct.
Because it is the purpose that will always drive the performance. So since young, I wanted to be a social worker to touch lives, bless families, enhance community, and strengthen countries. And then I ask myself, what's the best way to do it? So I realized we need the 4th key. The first key, government. Second key, educational institution. Third key, charity organization. But you really need people from a private sector, particularly entrepreneurs. If we can help entrepreneurs to become very, very successful, they put in the 4th key, they can help to change the world and make the world a better place to live in.
Correct.
So I tell myself this, if I'm going to help entrepreneurs and investors to be successful, why not use myself as a guinea pig?
Correct.
And see whether if I can go as fast as I can. And so one of the things I did was to write on what I call the global trends. And because I write on global trends, I was able to leverage on a fast growing marketplace, and then I'm able to grow the business in a more effective and efficient way. So the first trend is technology. So I realized that technology is one of the biggest disruptive forces, and so I helped to list the first company in New York Stock Exchange, and today it's an $11.2 billion company. The second major trend is education, because education is the greatest equalizers in life.
Correct.
And then I have a simple but very powerful way, to change the world. My partner and I said, why don't we bring international gurus, world-class experts, and then we help these gurus to train ordinary men and women on the street and make this education accessible, affordable, and easily available. And as a result of doing this, we struck on this powerful system that we can now cookie cutter all over the world, and then make us one of the biggest, if not arguably the biggest seminar company in the world. And the third area is investment, because at the heart of everybody who want to be rich and wealthy is about investment.
Correct.
And then I studied all the millionaires in the world. I found that most millionaires became millionaires directly or indirectly because of property. So I decided to focus on property. And then at one stage, at the peak of our business, we had more than 10,000 over people working under one roof.
Wow.
And we listed the company in Singapore Stock Exchange. And as a result, we were able to help people to invest in property, and we've helped a lot of people to become rich and wealthy through property investment.
Understand. So the first company is called Gartner Group, which is the IT company. The second company is called Success Resources, which is the personal development company. And the third company is called HSR, which is the real estate company. So you can Google all these companies. They are all the information is out there, because they are public listed companies. All the information is always out there. Cool. So maybe can you share the journey from a startup all the way to a public listed company? So like, did you start off with by bootstrapping, means you didn't use any capital to start with, or you borrowed money to start the business, or pulled money from investors to start the business?
I apply a principle called ephemeralization.
Ephemeralization. Wow,
Which basically means, how do you do ever more with ever less until such a point where you don't even need resource to be able to do it? I think that's the mark of a true entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I asked myself, what are the problems in this world? What are problems in our community? What are problems in society? So you can say, I'm a troublemaker. I look for trouble.
Yeah.
Because the bigger the trouble, the bigger the solution, the bigger the returns basically.
Yeah.
So at the start of my career, I run my business as if I'm going to be a global business. At the start of my career, I run my company as if it is going to be a public listed company. And so
From the start.
From
all
the
your
start.
companies from the start.
All my company from the start. And I give you an
He's
example.
a true visionary.
That's right. Recently, for example, we started a new company. In our legal system, you don't really need to audit your account if you're a small company. If you just started, and even if you want to audit the company, most people will go to an ordinary auditor. What I did was went to one of the big four. I went to Deloitte and Touche. Even Deloitte and Touche were concerned. You just started, you not even chalk up the first $1, and you come to us. I say yes, because I want to run my company as if it is a public listed company. I'm not saying that being public listed is the end point, but I believe it is one of the milestones for any entrepreneurs. Today, if you want to be a great company, you have to be a public listed company. Of course, in the olden days, you don't have to do it. Money passed from one generation to another generation. But today, if you can get yourself listed, you give yourself a lot of opportunities to be able to grow your business and then tap your capital, basically.
Correct.
So I decided that I want to be a public listed company. I run it as if I'm a public listed company. Then I decided, I want to look for problem, solve the problem to get the best return, basically. Then I also realized that entrepreneurship is a team sport. You cannot do it all by yourself. And so I started to surround myself one after another with talented people. And I always say I look for people who are smarter than me, better than me, more successful than me. And I look for people who can also cover my weaknesses. So as a result, I realized, at the heart of entrepreneurship is a team. A lot of people say team stands for together everybody achieve more. I don't agree. Sometimes together you actually achieve less. To me, the team that's most effective will achieve more. And so by forming an effective team, I was able to grow the business. And then in the process of growing the business, I decided we need to have a dream. Because I tell people this, the greatest poverty is not the poverty of money. Poor people will always think of money, always worry about money. The greatest poverty is a poverty of dreams and actions. So I want to have a great dream, challenge my people, inspire my people to go and fulfill the dream. Because if you dare to dream, that dream will come true, basically. Then, very importantly, together the team, we have to not only strengthen the relationship, we have to create a powerful business model that's scalable. That's able to grow, that's able to become globalized. And very importantly, we also put system in place. Why do we say that? The reason we say that is because a good entrepreneur should not be working in the business. They should be working on the business.
Yes, this is very important.
That's right. I mean, if your business grow because you have to be there, you have to work every day, then you're not running a very successful business. But I think if your business is run on a very effective system, and the system is evolving all the time, improving all the time, and up to a certain point, even if you're not in the business can still run by itself. It takes on a life by itself. That I think makes a lot of sense, basically.
There's this book by Nicholas Tassim called Anti-Fragile, right? So you say that there are some things that are fragile, means the moment you drop it, it breaks. There are some things that are more rigid, or they are more solid, right? So if you drop it, it doesn't break so easily. But there's some things that's anti-fragile, which means the more you break it, the better this thing becomes.
I tell myself this, that if it's not broken, go break it anyway. So I tell my people this, consider your business model as having been disrupted yesterday. Don't think of the possibility that one day it'll be disrupted. Think of the fact that it's already been disrupted, so you'll be forcing yourself to keep changing, improving, and getting better results.
It's like our muscle, right? The more you use it, the more you strain it, the stronger it gets. And that's how a business should be like a muscle like that. And okay, so what's the roadmap to an IPO?
What you say just now is actually based on a chemical term called perturbation. Perturbation means you shake an atom until you break down in its molecular form, and then when you regroup again, it becomes even stronger.
Like how diamonds are formed.
That's right. So we all need to be able to think of how to shake up the organization creatively, or in my term, I say how to creatively destroy your organization.
So you actually do that to your own organization?
I do that all the time. So I give you an example, in my
Yeah.
company, we challenge each and every of our staff to submit at least 2 written ways to improve what they're doing. It can be a very simple improvement.
Every week or every
month they have to submit, and then we share among one
This
another.
is a tip, every month submit 2 room for improvement of your own system, of your own SOP.
And in black and white, share with one another. And we share with one another, we're also creating a healthy competition, a fun way to inspire each other to keep changing and improving. And we give ourselves this deadline. We say every 3 years we must creatively destroy the whole organization. That means we tell ourselves that in 3 years' time, our business model will no longer be relevant. We will be totally disrupted. Then we say, hey, after 3 years, how can
So you pivot to a completely new business?
Correct. How do I take myself to a totally different level altogether? And if you believe you can take yourself to another higher level, you will always be able to achieve another higher level.
Okay. Wow, interesting. So so what's the roadmap from just an idea to an IPO? How long did it take? Maybe you can just use one of your companies as a...
The first company that I did it, we were around for more than 10 over years before we get listed. Success Resources, we took about 10 years to be listed. And then when I listed HSI, it took me about 6 years.
So Gartner was your first...
10 over years, then become 10 years, then become 6 years.
Next time 2 years.
So now I'm challenging entrepreneurs to say, if you believe you can be listed within 1 year, I will help you to be listed within 1 year.
Yes,
the most important thing is, do you believe in it? Are you willing to take action? If you believe in your dream, you're willing to take action, I will help you to be listed in 1 year.
I see. So how does it work? How does it work for a normal entrepreneur?
I think the world
of shares do they have to dilute, or how does it...
The world of business landscape has changed. I think what people want to invest in is to invest in what we call an investable model. How do you become an investable model? Then you have to take yourself through a business model transformation. I mean, I give you an example. Uber. Everybody can create an Uber platform. Correct?
Correct.
I mean, we actually have an Uber platform. It's called illegal taxi drivers. How did Uber become what it is today? Because Uber changed their business model. They changed their business model in such a way where they are able to share with their investors. If they can raise enough capital, they can create a totally new world that can disrupt the traditional business model of taxi companies. And they created a totally technology-based platform that's able to help them to globalize their business very, very quickly. So the crux of the business is very simple. Is how they change the business model to make it investable, basically. So one of the things that we do is to sit down with entrepreneurs and look at their business model and say, how can we change this business model without changing the crux of the model so that it will be totally scalable, investable, and we can globalize the business.
Understand. But what I understand about Uber is that the shares of Uber are incredibly overpriced. So it's very hard for the investors, because like Uber until today is still bleeding, right? Grab is bleeding like $200 million every year, but it's still worth $2.7 billion, right? So,
if you look at it,
what do you think about it?
If you look at it from the old world, you're right.
From a value investing standpoint,
if you look at it from the old world, or what you call value, your idea of value investment model, then you say, hey, this is not an investable company. The company is losing money. But
in terms of the dividends that you get, the price-earnings ratio.
But think about it. If they raise enough money and they are able to globalize, their taxi business, which no other taxi company has been able to do it, and they can run it more effectively and efficiently, so much so that they can even disrupt traditional taxis. So can you imagine how huge the market is, how profitable they can be? I mean, I give you an example. You look at Facebook. Facebook never made a single cent until they were listed. And for a short while after they were listed, they were not profitable. But because they have this wonderful business model, and because they're backed up, with a very effective way to raise money, their dream came true. And today it's one of the most profitable companies in the world. So I give you an example. Right now, Uber is consolidating because they're thinking of IPOing the company, and they're already showing a profit, basically.
Oh yeah, by the way, Uber is not even a public listed company yet, and it has already raised billions of dollars. Yeah.
And they're going to be a public listed company very soon, and actually their numbers are turning black basically, and it's very easy. You know, so it's not so much that they're losing money, it's because they're spending money to grow the business. There's a way, the world of difference between losing money and investing money to grow your business model basically.
But do you feel that the investors right now who invest in Uber are doing it out of speculation, or doing it because there really is hope that they can actually generate returns? Or
first of all, I must
like Alibaba also, the price to earnings ratio is quite crazy, you know, how much it is worth compared to how much your profit is making. Right nowadays I tend to like to study financial statements and look at all these like Alibaba or Singapore-based companies like 8i, or you know, this kind of companies.
First of all, I want to just make a statement first. I am not suggesting to anybody that you invest in Uber.
Of course.
I'm not recommending you to buy Alibaba shares. All I'm saying is that there is an old world way of looking at investment, and there's a new world of looking at investment basically. The old world is to study a company, look at their profit and loss statement basically. That's really essentially what you do, right? In the new world, you know, you want to invest in some company that are able to have a model that can disrupt, you know, traditional businesses. They can globalize the business and they can become hugely profitable, you know. And so if you can see a business model like this, then you go into the same fundamental way of analyzing to see whether they have got a good management team that can implement the model,
I think that's super important, good management
and all the rest of the critical success factors, and then decides, you know, if this is a company that you want to invest in, and whether you believe this company is going to make their dream come true. And if their dream come true, then your investment will grow by you know, it can sometimes grow exponentially, which you cannot get in investing in traditional business model basically.
I think the management team is super important. Like if you look at Dr. Patrick's, all the companies that he has started or listed, right, there's only one common factor, which is Dr. Patrick himself, right? They're all in different industries, right? Like technology to real estate to education. I mean, how can someone master all three industries? Definitely it's not the industry, it is how he runs his organization, how he runs
I have to humbly back to disagree. My business never have to depend on me. In fact, we have a joke in our office sometime. One of my directors told me, he said, Patrick, you've got very bad feng shui. I said, why? He said, every time when you're in a company, our business don't do very well. Please go for holiday, please go and relax, please go to a beach, please have fun. So in my mind, I was thinking, I must have very good feng shui, right? That my company can grow without me. I think that's the whole point. Of course, having said that, it's very important to know that all great businesses depend on great leadership and great teamwork. But that does not mean that the company must depend on one particular leader or team of leaders basically. It means that you have great leaders who are able to produce even better and even more leaders. So my litmus test of a good business is called a leader, build even more and better leaders, build even more and better leader. So if this great leader is able to create many different levels of leaders who are even better than him, then I think he's a great leader. Then he comes to a point where he doesn't even have to be around the business grow by himself. Let me give you an example. I run my charity like a business too. I run a charity that trains about 20,000 students every year free of charge. And I'll tell you this, today I have 1,800 volunteers. So we started training leaders who go and train some more leaders. And today, a lot of our volunteers don't even know I started the charity, don't even know I'm the chairman of the charity. Now let me ask you this question. Do you think I'm doing a good job? They don't know about me. They don't give credit to me. They don't praise me.
And yet the
charity goes on by itself, grows by itself.
It's a good job. The fact that you're not working in the business and you're working on the business.
That's right.
That's the epitome of success. I think that the highest level of business, right, is when you know how to build a lifestyle business where even when you're not there, then the thing still runs by itself.
Correct. Of course, having said that, it does not mean that if you work yourself out of your job, you know, then you relax and then you enjoy life, and that means you are a great entrepreneur.
Correct.
Finally, I think at the end of the day, a great entrepreneur must be somebody who make appointment with himself, spend time in silence and do reflection.
Correct.
You know, sometimes it takes only one idea that can take your company to a totally different level altogether. And that's the point with a lot of entrepreneurs. They become very, very busy. Sometimes they think that business, equates to accomplishment. Sometimes they think that just because I spend a lot of time in workplace, therefore I'm more effective, which is not completely true. I think a good entrepreneur must be able to sit back and say, what is that one idea? What is that one strategy? What's the one model that can change the world, change the landscape, change my whole marketplace basically? And I think if you give yourself enough time to think, there is a brilliant idea inside you just dying to be unleashed from you. The only question now is, are you willing to spend time to reflect, think, and challenge yourself? To come up with a radical breakthrough.
I think entrepreneurs truly change the world. Like one of the reasons why I chose to go into entrepreneurship is because entrepreneurs create jobs. Entrepreneurs steer the economy. Entrepreneurs disrupt the marketplace. Entrepreneurs continuously create innovation and all that. So I mean, we still need everybody, right? Everyone is the same, puzzle in the whole world, right? So we still need cleaners, we still need doctors, we still need lawyers, we still need everyone. But I feel that entrepreneurs have a very strong role to play in.
I tell people this: the only reason why I chose to be an entrepreneur is because it's the closest thing I can find to magic.
Okay. Can you elaborate a little bit more on it?
Which means that an entrepreneur is somebody who create something from literally out of nothing.
Like an idea.
So it's like magic.
It's
like magic, and so it's fun, it's like
you can raise money from an idea,
Yeah.
you can recruit people from an idea, you can get customers from an idea, you can build the infrastructure from an idea.
Sure.
You can build everything just from an idea. Like our job as entrepreneurs, right, is like being the conductor of an orchestra, and then like piecing together everyone into place and making sure that this organization can even run without the conductor around.
That's right.
I think that's the highest level of entrepreneurship. So so last time you raise funds, right? Do you normally raise from like personal investors or institutional investors, or?
I raise funds from every level of the capital market, both in Singapore as well as all over the world. Basically, in fact, the last 3 years we have chanced upon some powerful alternative fundraising ways from what we call the public venture market, basically to be able to list your company, and then through being quoted on a financial trading platform, you go out to many different people and different institutions all over the world to be able to pull the money together. Now, in the past, it's very hard to do it because the global capital market is limited by communication technology, is demarcated by different boundaries and borders. But today in the internet world, there are amazingly different ways to be able to raise the money. In fact, as we are speaking right now, the Americans are going to pass a totally new law altogether, and they just passed a bill at the lower house. It will probably be passed at the upper house and will become law. In a little nutshell, they're liberalizing fundraising. They're allowing the entity to raise up to $75 million from anybody in the world through any means.
So it's like what Kickstarter and all that is doing right now, is it?
It's almost like Kickstarter. So they started a crowdfunding platform, which the world all look at horror because how can you have something like crowdfunding platform? It's very much like what we used to have in the olden day called Tontin. And it's almost like a scam. So there were a lot of worries that consumers will be fleeced, will be scammed, will be conned. But they realized actually no. Crowdfunding platform, of course some people have been taken for a ride, but by and large, it has actually helped a lot of companies, a lot of organizations, and even helped charity organizations. Then they started to liberalize a bit more, and they came out with all the different ways to fundraise, like Regulation A, Regulation D. But in a short while time, they will totally liberalize fundraising like it's never been done before. And as I mentioned, you can raise up to $75 million through any means, and you can raise that money from anybody in the world.
In the past, how was it like?
In the past, for example, you take Singapore,
Yeah.
for example, you want to raise money, there are a lot of restrictions.
Yeah.
You have to abide by the Security and Futures Act, which is a very good act which has served us very, very well.
Prevent a lot of scams.
Prevent
But still can
scams.
happen.
Correct. But the ambit of the law is so wide,
Yeah.
you know, and you cannot do this, you cannot do that. As a result, it's very hard to raise money. And today, you and I know this. Today, to be successful as an entrepreneur, it's not about business model, it's not about product, it's not about services that you provide. It's really about capital.
Yeah.
If you can raise enough money, you have a bigger chance to be successful.
Yeah,
If
that's
you can
true.
continue to raise money, you can make dreams come true. And so today, the Americans are very smart. It started in 2012 when they introduced the Jobs Act, and then they are slowly rolling out more and better ways for people to raise money. And so today, I always tell people this: raising money is no more a major
Yeah,
issue.
it's
for
not hard.
anybody. not hard anymore.
Yeah,
so I always tell people this: if money is not a problem, how will you run your business?
Yeah.
What should your business be? How can you recreate your business? How can you really create a business model that's going to change the world? Because fundraising, you know, has become a lot easier now.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, so you only became like a speaker recently, or you've been a trainer for?
I tell people this: I teach because I love to teach, not because I have to teach.
Yeah.
It means I don't teach because I need to earn some
Yeah,
fees.
correct,
I need to stay alive and meet some basic needs. Basically, I've always felt that I have a gift of teaching, and I believe that all of us should be teachers, all of us should be trainers, all of us should be mentors, all of us should be coaches, all of us should do our little part to help the people around us.
Yeah.
So I can say that I've always been teaching since I was a very young person,
Okay.
and I always tell people this. First and foremost, in my mind, I always feel that I'm first of all a student. And
Yeah.
I'm here not because I'm being interviewed by you. I'm here to learn from all of you.
Yeah.
I'm here to learn from you because the best way to learn is to teach. And the more you teach, the more you will learn
The
yourself.
more you internalize.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay. So how has your career as a speaker or trainer been like? Means like when you first started out, do you have an audience that already wanted to listen to you, or do you have?
the good
how do you
news-
market your events?
The good news is that I'm very, very fortunate that there are a lot of people who are willing to give me a chance to share with them. You know, and but I don't take this lightly. So
Yeah.
whenever I have a chance, privilege and honor to share with anybody, to speak on a platform,
Yeah.
I always do a lot of homework.
Yeah.
And then when I do a lot of homework, I always make sure that I deliver a good materials. But more importantly, I ask myself and I tell myself and I remind myself constantly that I'm not there for myself. I'm there for the audience.
Yeah.
I'm there to touch their heart.
We
touch
are
their
there
life,
as
basically.
instruments, as the messenger.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So before I go up to any stage, I always look up and say, what does a good
Yeah.
man up there want me to
Yeah.
share with the people?
Yeah.
And I always share from my heart. That means I want to be
Yeah.
authentic or
Correct,
be
correct.
real. And very often in my speeches, I share them my failures, my foolishness,
Correct,
my fears, my frailties, you know, or my fads and fetishes, you know,
Yes.
so that the audience can then understand that I'm just like them.
Correct,
I have your struggle. I go through the same fears, the same aspiration that you have.
I think that's.
You know?
I think we are so similar in that, in the sense that, like for me, whenever I speak or whenever I give any training, right, I always look at myself as like it's going through me, right? I'm not the guru. I'm not the one teaching them.
Right.
I've learned from the top mentors, like let's say JT Fox, Aaron Sansoni, or you know, and then through me, I'm transmitting the information to them, right? So I'm like a vessel, I'm like an instrument. I'm not the guru himself,
Right.
because no thought that we have is an original thought.
Right.
Every thought that we have comes from somewhere, either from an observation or from someone telling you or from an experience.
But there's some original thoughts, but more
Yeah.
importantly,
But it's like an amalgamation of all the thoughts that you've learned, and then you know,
must
then it
create
becomes
enough dots, and then
Yeah,
when you have
yeah.
enough dots,
Then it
then you
becomes an
can
original.
join them in different ways to
Right.
create new ideas, new thoughts,
and
new
the
concepts.
message that comes out is different from all, you know. Yeah, but that's how I look at speaking, right? That's how I look at my life's work as well. Like my life's work is to be an instrument. I just want to be the best instrument that I can be to empower people to become the best version of themselves.
You probably have heard of this term called win-win relationship.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people don't understand this. Some people think win-win means you win, then I win, or
Yeah.
I win more, you win less.
Uh,
No, or I win and I win, win-win. But to me, Win-win means if I want to be successful, I must have all of you be successful.
Correct.
If I want to win, I must have all of you to win.
I think in today's current marketplace, right?
But for a long time, I tell myself, I just want a win relationship. As long as you win, as long as the people around me win, I'm perfectly happy, even if I don't win and never talk about winning, basically. And I think by doing this, I can then become a better conduit to bless other people.
I always believe in a 51-49 relationship where I give 51% and get 49%, right?
Yeah.
Because whenever I realized when the scale was too tilted, when I was giving 80%, I only getting 20%, right? Somehow this relationship doesn't sustain as well. I always believe in win-win, right? I don't mind winning lesser, let the other person win more. But it always has to be a win-win. The moment it's win-lose, right? Then this relationship just can't seem to sustain for a long term.
Probably we differ. Humbly back to differ. For me right now, for many years now, as long as you win, I'm perfectly happy.
I see.
And strangely enough, the more I help other people win, the more I want them to win 100%. For some reason, somehow I'll be blessed at the same time. I think that's a universal law of life. So I never even think of whether I need to win some, need to win more, or need to win first, or need to win last. As long as you win, I'm happy. So for me, it's just a win relationship. It's not even a win-win relationship anymore. Yeah.
Cool. So now that now we were talking about the capital mechanism and how the whole fundraising stage, right? So like for me, my biggest I'm constantly doing self-reflection. I'm constantly thinking of my business, right? Do I want to build a lifestyle business or do I want to build an empire? Because the way to run both businesses, right, is very different. Right? How you run a lifestyle business and how you run an empire, the kind of hours that you have to put in, it's different.
I won't divide what I want to choose in terms of business is whether I want to have a better life or want to work very hard. I don't work on this basis. I want what I call the 5 P's. The first P is what I call purpose. Finally, we all know deep in our heart that we want to serve a higher calling. We want to achieve a worthier cause. So the purpose is very important. Secondly is a personality. So we all, when we reach a certain adulthood, have forged a certain type of personality that suits a certain type of business, basically. Then the third P is passion. What do you love to do? If you do something you don't love to do, you're not going to have the grit, the guts and gumption to continue to the finishing point. And then the fourth P is really the performance. What can you do very well or do better than most people? Or what can you do if you put your heart into and soul into it to learn and you can do better than most people? And then the final P is called priority. What's important for you to do right now? Of course, all of us want to change the world. All of us will make a lot of money. But maybe that's not the most important thing. Maybe the most important thing right now is to be able to learn the ropes. Maybe the most important thing is to understand the basics. Maybe the most important thing right now is to be able to create the building blocks so they can create your empire later on. So the purpose, the personality, the passion, the performance and priorities. If you ask yourself 5 questions regarding these 5 P's, and then you will come to an alignment where you know exactly what you want to do, and that's what you should pursue, basically.
So if let's say an entrepreneur, he has his passion, purpose and all that, now maybe he feels that he is not the man, like he feels that he's the man to start the idea, but he's not the man to take it all the way into an empire. Like maybe he feels that he doesn't have the capability to do it. So can he exit halfway through the journey, like maybe through like rather than exiting only during when the company goes public listed, can he exit halfway or sell the company?
It really doesn't matter to me whether if it doesn't really matter to me whether if I should be the first one to start and the first one to end or whether I should exceed. Sometimes I always tell people this: the quality of your life depends on the quality of question you ask yourself, or the quality of life depends on the quantity of quality question you ask yourself. So for me, is that what is the worthwhile cause that I want to sacrifice for? What is the higher calling that I want to serve? What is the dream, the purposeful dream that I want to achieve? And if I know this is what I'm going to do to bless people around me, to be able to bless the environment around me, then it does not matter whether if I'm the one doing it, or I'm the one continuing it, or I must be the one finishing it. For me, I am not in the picture. I may be the one who start. I may be the one who creates I'm the instrument, and I want to come to a point at some point in time where the whole dream takes on a life by itself. The people that build up are able to carry the balls and continue the race. At some point in time, I'll be very happy, if they say, I'm no more relevant, or they can do it on their own, or I find another a better thing that can contribute to in the movement itself, and then allow the movement to grow even bigger than me, last longer than me. And I think if that is what I want to do, then I think we can build an even more effective and even more inspirational and even more result-focused organization.
And okay, another bottleneck for me in my businesses, right, I realized has been my inability to handle partnerships well enough. To the point where I start thinking okay, from now on, I'm not gonna do any partnerships. I'm only gonna do business associates. Means I own 100% of my business, you own 100% of your business. We come together, we do a project together, but there's no attachment or there's no marriage, right? But I have observed a lot of powerful companies that are built by partners. For example, Google, right? Sergey Brin, and then Bill Gates and Microsoft, right? So they're all partners, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. So you have done a lot of partnerships as well. What do you think is the key to a sustainable partnership that, because I realize in partnerships, right, there will always be one person who does more, one person who does less, one person who make more money, one person who make less. What do you think is the key to a successful relationship?
For me, it's not important whether if I have partner or don't have a partner.
So for your companies, which one will partner?
For me, that's not even the question whether I should have a partner or should have a partner. For me, very importantly, I know that I cannot do it by myself. For me, I know that it has to be a team. And for me, it's not a team of champion, because a champion team can be better than a team of champion. For me, it's finding the right people. So you probably have read the book called From Good to Great. And Jim Porras basically talk about a bus. He says if you want to go very far, you bring in the right people in the bus, and then you ask the wrong people to leave the bus. But I don't like the metaphor of a bus. I think of a dragon boat. A dragon boat. Which means every person who comes in a dragon boat has a role to play, has a part to play basically. So the most important thing is finding the right people to join the organization and letting the wrong people out of the organization in a loving way, in a nice way, in a professional way, and then ensuring that when you have the right people doing the right thing at the right time, and they're able to work together. And so these four things I mentioned early on, you must have a dream, you must create a system, and they must be working in alignment, and then they must have a very strong, powerful relationship with one another. And if you have these four critical success factors, then you create a wonderful team. So you need to have the right people who has got the right relationship working towards a shared dream, and then they build on a system, and then they are able to work in total alignment, in congruence to fulfill the dream. If you have these four factors, you can build a great team.
I see.
So the most important thing right now is, if you say I want a partner, should I have a partner, should I not have a partner? The important thing is, if you need a partner to grow your dream, then you need a partner. And the most important thing is not whether you have the right partner or wrong partner. The most important thing is, you must know whether you share the same values. You must know whether you share the same dream. You must know whether you can work in the same system. You must know whether you can work in the same alignment. And if that's true, then it does not matter whether if I do more, I do less, I make more money, make less money.
But that is something that always comes up in every partnership. Even a husband and wife relationship, right? You say, I do the house chores, then I take care of the baby.
I think if you focus on that, then I think the attitude is really, really wrong. I mean, I look at my partner and me, and I've got many, many partners. Some of my partners work very, very hard, I don't work very hard. Some of my partners make a lot more money than me and don't make a lot of money. I think is that important? I think that's not important. If you want to go and start comparing, you'll never be a very happy person.
Correct.
But I think what really glue two person together is not looking one another, it's looking ahead.
Of course.
So same with husband and wife, I have a license to solemnize marriage. I say, before marriage you look at one another, you are lovey-dovey, and you have this chemical, exploding all over your body, and you love one another. But finally after marriage is whether you all can face the same direction, fulfill a purposeful dream, achieve a world cause. And I think if you can have this same dream and work together, then you're not going to worry about who make more money, who make less money, who work more, who work less. Then I think you'll be a lot more effective. Because finally, if you don't want to work with anybody, if you want a partner, you're also limiting yourself to what you can achieve in your life, basically.
Correct. Okay, cool. And so would you say that your ability to raise leaders mainly comes from your ability to train them, or your ability to recruit leaders, or like, okay, because you built a lot of organization with leaders with many generations or many layers of leaders, right? So would you say that the key to the success of getting so many leaders is...
I have basically essentially a few keys. Number one is exemplifying. That means if I'm a great leader, I must be a great leader myself. I must be the change that I want to see in the world, as Gandhi said. Secondly is envision. I must be able to create a vision that can unite us together, that fire us together, inspire us together. The third C is enrolling the right people to do the right task at the right time. Fourth C is be able to educate them so that they can do their job and they continue to do even better job and in a more effective and efficient way. The next C is continue to encourage one another. The last C is to be able to enlighten them and enlarge them and take them to another, enable them, empower them to another level altogether, basically.
Cool.
So if you can have these few critical success factors together, then you can build great leaders, basically.
Okay, so if there's one last thing that you want to share about for someone who's just starting out, or someone who's already having a business and they want to learn how to grow and scale their business, what would you want to share with them? There's one success tip.
I cheekily created this model, and I twisted the law of relativity. It's called E equals to MC to the power of 4.
Okay.
E is excellence. Okay. You only have one short life to live. This is not a dress rehearsal. You have no chance to redo your life all over again. Then pursue excellence, not perfection, excellence.
Okay.
So that you can be proud of whatever you have achieved, and proud of the things that you have created, and proud of the fact that you've contributed to make the world a better place to live in.
Okay.
And M stands for mission. If you don't know what you want, you will never be able to get it. And aim high. Dream big dreams. Go for impossible dream. And this is the time to do it. There's no other better time and place to be alive than right here, right now, to fulfill great missions. And then the other 4C really, first of all, is the character. Finally, we talk about how to be a great leader, how to be a great organization. You are the source of the stream. And as the Chinese say, the stream cannot rise above the source. So you have to develop a character. Secondly is commitment. There is no such thing as there's no such thing as success being a bed of roses. You need to make sacrifices. There are barriers, there are problems, there are challenges, there are failures you need to go through. How committed are you to make it work? Do you have the great guts and gumption to make it happen? And then the C is really competence. Whatever business you're in, whatever job you're doing, you require a certain type of knowledge, a certain type of skills, a certain type of tools, a certain type of resources, a certain type of ecosystem to help you. You need to develop that competence. And the last C is what I call compassion. Finally, a true entrepreneur must have a heart for people. If a true entrepreneur don't have a heart to love and serve their people, then they don't qualify. They don't deserve to be an entrepreneur. A true entrepreneur must
They're just businessmen.
Correct. No, it's not just about creating customer and making money for a customer, having bigger market share. A true entrepreneur must have a heart for their customers. And I always say this: the worst heart disease is not to have a heart for people. And people know this. The people who work for you know this. The people who partner you know this. The people who buy from you, who support you, who provide services to you know it. And if you don't have that care and concern for humans, for people around you, they will see through you. You are not going to go very, very far. But finally, you're not going to be a very, very happy man. You may be rich and wealthy, but you'll never be a happy man. You'll never be a fulfilled man. And so to me, E equals to MC squared again. E, excellence, M for mission. The 4C stands for character, commitment, competence, as well as compassion for the world out there.
So do you feel that you were like that, like your life view has been like that since young? Or it was like, as you grew older or wiser, then you thought this way?
I suppose I developed this since a very young age. The reason is because I was born in poverty, I grew up among the poor. And so I always feel that, because I'm poor, I have got very high DQ. To be successful is not about IQ or EQ, it's about DQ, it's about desperation quotient. How desperate are you to be successful? But finally, when I think about it, success is not about not about forging ahead at the expense of other people. Success is not about winning more and other people winning less. Success truly is about helping others live a better life. Success is about helping the environment become a better place. And I think if you have these hearts at the right place to help others and the environment to do better, then I think you'll be a very successful entrepreneur, basically.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much for your time, and
Most
thank you for
welcome.
doing this interview.
Okay.
Makes us older, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much longer. Man, I've been waiting all night now, that's how long I've been on ya.